we do not want to have them as time clocking machines. When you say that something will be completed on this day, that need to be done on that day. Technopark is a cohesive group. The larger companies, medium companies, smaller companies, everyone work together at a single place. The quality of life, all those things are completely different when we are operating in Kerala.
Welcome to Technopark podcast. Today we have with us Deepu S Nath. Sir, welcome.
Thank you. Hi.
So leading to the first question, Deepu, FAYA, you are at the helm of it. You have started with something called 𝝁Learn, which is revolutionary. How it has progressed to what it is today. What is your take on that?
So one thing that we have to understand, we are heading towards a world where changes are happening at an accelerated pace, and it is not going to be the corporates who are going to do the innovation, it is going to be the communities.
Right.
Because communities or the collectivism is the fastest way to solve the hardest problems. And the transmission of new knowledge and information is very key here. Knowledge is no more static.
Correct.
And repetition is no more skill. You have to understand, knowledge is no more static and it is no more skill as repetition. And we have been training people to do repetitive work as skills and hire them, train them, and they have been doing repetition. And then they climb the ladders and they gain better heights in the company. But you have to understand, many of these jobs that you are seeing jobs today is not going to exist. And the change that is happening is, it is not like AI going to take out all the jobs, but those who don't adapt, their jobs will be gone for sure, because learning is going to be part of job. In 2013, when I came to Technopark, it was said that Trivandrum is a space, there is no communities here. I started my company in Bangalore, but I want to come to Trivandrum, Technopark, and there is a story that in a single day we got into Technopark and had space here, and then that much supportive was Technopark authorities to us when we came here. Because it was I started with Jeremiah Jacks. He was the first person to do an SQL injection exposed to the world. So 𝝁Learn is a happiness project. What we want to do is to help the students explore and identify what their affinity space is. And we ask them, you have to build proof of work as proof of skills.
Wonderful.
It is no more about degrees, it is mostly about the
skills.
Portfolio of the problems that you have solved. And in future, nobody will be looking for what certificate that you have. You start building portfolio of the problems that you have solved, and that is going to be your resume. And 𝝁Learn is something that enables these people freely get access to those learning path, as well as mentors who were the professionals who are willing to share their knowledge for free.
FAYA Port 80. So how was the whole idea, how did the whole idea of FAYA Port 80 come into existence, and how did this whole ecosystem contribute to the idea of FAYA Port 80?
So as I mentioned, that Port 80 means free knowledge exchange. Okay, it is the free and open port in a server. It is for HTTP. So that is why we named the keyword itself Port 80. FAYA Port 80. That is, FAYA is doing a Port 80 where knowledge exchange happened with the community as well as within the company, and this has to happen every nook and corner. That is what we conceptualize it for. And as we became more and more popular, because every month first Wednesdays it used to happen from 2013 till date. Okay. And by 28th or 30th edition, actually NASSCOM came forward and they wanted to get associated, and we started working together in that. And then later, a group of technology companies, it is a consortium of all the IT companies in the state. They actually wanted me, I became the EXICOM member there, and they actually wanted me to be the academy and technology focus group convener.
Wow.
So that is something that I was supposed to do, is to solve the skill gap. And I act as the interface to the universities as well as to the government on the skilling initiatives. So that gave me more power, and I just thought, like, why can't we do something innovative or something different? Why should we do why should we duplicate things? A lot of people, lot of stakeholders are there, everyone working on the same problem and do not collaborate. So instead of just, I started with the human collaboration, right? I just thought like, why shouldn't all these organizations come and collaborate? And that is why we created a framework with quadruple helix model. Quadruple helix model is like in industry, academia and government and all the NGOs that work together, they come together in collaboration for nurturing an innovation ecosystem. So that is where GTech's Academia and Technology Focus Group was formed, and there we created 𝝁Learn.
Wow.
We brought together all the government stakeholders in Kerala, all the companies under the umbrella of GTech, as well as all the universities and the communities in Kerala that works, not just Kerala, across the globe, is currently working together in 𝝁Learn. And 𝝁Learn is something that is, we created a digital identity for skilling. Just like UPI ID that you have, any bank, any transaction can happen, right? Just like Aadhaar, we created 𝝁 as a digital identity, and we created something called Karma as the skilling currency. So currency that is acceptable by the companies. Because normally we go and check for marks, and for interview, for test and all those things, that is, even to attend an interview, they need marks. And everything was based on that, just because we do not have any other mechanism to assess a student. And we just want to look at whether he is trainable, whether he has the grit and perseverance to complete, so that we can take them and train it. So, fair thing. But most of the time, what is happening is like, it is no more about somebody going and training people, because technology is getting evolved. And those new technologies, 10-year experienced people do not know. So the capability to learn new things and implement is very important. So that is why we created and proof of work as the proof of skill. And there is a peer vetted mechanism that actually whenever you want to learn web development, you go and take a problem like a tea shop, they do not have website, collect the requirement and start building it by learning, through learning, and then make the website live, so that we will believe that you know web development.
Wonderful.
So imagine a world that each learner is paid to learn something and solve something.
DBG was one of the top 28 AI companies in the world.
Gamification
companies in the world. So, and how did DBG go from being DBG to FAYA?
There are 2 points that you were talking. One is about gamification. Second one is about DBG and FAYA. So I would like to start with gamification. First, and as of today, if you look at the top 12 companies in the world in gamification, that is considered as predicted as the future of gamification, FAYA is among that.
Wow.
Okay. So I started gamification at the time of DBG very accidentally. I didn't know that there is a term called gamification. But I just want to create something that enable people to understand how well they perform by themselves. Because normally we tell people that is, you have to do this, and they will do whatever you ask. But programming is a cognitive effort, requires cognitive effort to solve these things. That is, whenever you are doing a manual labor or physical labor, it's okay to push people towards getting those things. But cognitive or creative works doesn't work in that way.
Correct.
And then people will not be self-determined to work. That is, just to satisfy the company, they just do that.
Burnout.
And everything is policies. And adding new and new policies to everyone just because one person didn't follow the policy or create some trouble. So one person is using Facebook and not doing work, Facebook get blocks to everyone, because policy need to be applied to everyone equally. So that is something that I faced in different corporates. That is, I need to wear tie to sit and code in front of a computer. I was not knowing that why it really matters. And people were copy pasting these policies from the companies, and all this research happened during factories, industry.
Correct.
That era. And blindly copying to the IT industry, and that is what is adding more stress to the people who work in the IT industry. And that is why I thought that my company should not have that. I should have trust in people and give them freedom. Help them to be master of what they do and have a purpose which we work together for. And that is what brings in self-determination. So when I started, we were just 4 people to 5 people. In 2008, everyone was telling like, everyone want to do this type of freedom to employees, but you will find it once you grow.
To that level.
Grow that level, because as you are small, that is you can do things. I was thinking, let's see. And it was okay until we reached 10. And once we started hiring people from other companies, lateral hiring and all those things happened, then I came to realize, what they said was right. It is time for us to add policies, because people who are from the other culture, when they come here, freedom get exploited.
Correct.
And that exploitation act as the motivation for others to exploit it. And the culture will.
So what was the deterrent that you found?
So I just understand that freedom without accountability is a problem.
Okay.
And privileges that we give them should be earned, not taken for granted.
Okay.
So that is what I decided, like, we have to set project based milestones as the accountability criteria. Or the task that they get completed, or whether they are doing the actual work. We do not want to have them as time clocking machines in a cubicle farm coming and working. Okay,
cubicle farm.
Okay. So it is not like that. That is, we want to give them freedom, flexibility, but have accountability on what are the key things that we want, what a company needs. One thing, when you say that something will be completed on this day, that need to be done on that day, right?
Exactly, right.
If you are not able to do that on that day, communicate as early as possible. Whenever you come to know that, communicate. So first one is productivity, second one is communication, and third one is to not create trouble to others. Okay. Any company, if you are an employee, you do not create trouble to others. You are excellent in communication, communicate everything, and you releases projects or anything that is
on a timely basis.
Timely basis, everything. What more should I need? It's like, but company do not have mechanisms to justify all these things. That is done, and equally decide on the performance evaluation. So what I did is, I just created these levels in the company and made everyone as badass. That is what the badass program was concept.
Okay.
So you have the freedom, you have the flexibility, you just do anything that you want, provided release the project on time.
You do what you like, but do it right.
and the mechanism to measure attitude.
Okay.
How can we measure attitude? How can we measure the happiness in the company?
That's a good question. How did you do that? That's my question.
So what we did is, we had a smiley system.
Okay.
Where people who work together, they rate each other on whether you are impacting my happiness or not. So I put 4, then I have to provide a reason that why I rated 4. Okay. And the reason should be people independent. I should not say that Mithun Madhu Nair is like this. I should talk about the action that you have done which can be corrected, because people are good. People's behavioral patterns are the something that we need to change. And everyone has a smiley related to them, and it is denoted by the average of the rating that you got. And your smiley will be smiling if everyone rates you 5. If it is less than 4, then you know the list of
notes that
you have to improve, and you correct it. Next month your smiley will be good, and the company has a smiley, it is the average of everyone. So the company has to smile. So giving them the freedom, giving them the purpose why you are doing it, and also that is what actually matters for the company should be something that need to be explained to them properly, and align the organizational goals with the individual goals of the people.
As well.
And we have something called reflections, that we actually look for what are the aspirations that they have as the end
future. Okay.
In future, that is what are the experiences that they want to gain in the company, in the world.
That they are yet to see.
They are yet to see, and I will have a list of things. I have a bucket list of all those things.
Okay.
And I will ensure that that is being happening. Those people who want to write books, they have written books. Those who want to act in movies, they have acted in movies. So there are a lot of examples there, because they also have aspirations that also need to be taken care, and in turn they will actually work for the company. And I am not the bad person there. There is a tool that actually tracks all those things with indicators like whether your productivity is good or not, your attitude is good or not, or your communication is good or not. And what happens there is, you belong to a level, you have to maintain these things to enjoy all those level of freedom. And if you do not belong there, you have to work in a controlled environment where you level down and you do not have flexi work from home.
Wow. Okay.
Or you do not have flexi timing. So all those things that the company provides to them are something should not be taken for granted. In the evening, you can decide whether you have to go like this or like this. You can leave it as you want, and you take the flexibility and freedom. And over the period, what will happen is that there will be people who actually in the top who enjoys and engages the freedom, and they will be respected in the company. Right?
What is FAYA?
So FAYA is a ERP process automation company which has US as the market. We are into one specific industry, optimizing the supply chain and resources in US market.
How big is FAYA?
If you look at employees, there is just 40 employees.
Wow. Okay.
For FAYA, growing is not expanding. It is not just about the number of employees that creates a revenue for it. How our product works and what our product goes in the US market and get the customer is what matters there.
Very recently, I did see that you and a few of your colleagues had a great vacation in the US. I mean, how can you provide all such luxury with all that you are pioneering?
FAYA as a company, FAYA is not a company that grows by headcount.
Okay.
So we want the best engineers to work at FAYA. We built a product that solves very complex problems in the US market.
Okay.
And each one of them has to be treated well. And then we do not actually be stringent on what we want to give to the team members, because they are the one actually who build the product that is being used by our customers, right?
Right.
So they have to see what the customer does, as well as they have to enjoy whatever the quality of life that happens there. So what we want to do is to encourage the best performers in the team. As I mentioned about the gamification system, that is those who performs and all those things, they should be taken for celebrations, for enjoyment. For example, like the whole team, we work hard,
and party hard.
Yeah.
I came across a video of you having a conversation with Peter Diamandis. So Peter Diamandis, for all those viewers out there, he is the founder of XPRIZE and also one of the most influential people in the world who has mentored even Elon Musk. How did all that happen? How did all these things transpire, and how do you think that is going to take us to places?
So one thing, Peter Diamandis and Ray Kurzweil, those are two futurists who actually started something called Singularity University.
Okay.
So there is communities across the globe, around 65 countries have its chapters, and it is to build skill set and mindset to work on exponential technologies and build on moonshot ideas. So that is what the mission, and the first chapter of Singularity University in India was in Technopark.
Okay.
And we conducted the first Global Impact Challenge.
Wow.
In 2017, and 2 Indian startups got incubated in Silicon Valley. And as of now, Singularity University is actually transitioning it into a much better model. And he was there in Hyderabad, and I got a chance to meet him.
Wow.
And then he was talking about abundance mindset and longevity. So abundance mindset means that is, we live in a world where we believe that is, if I want to win, that is somebody else have to do. That is called a scarcity mindset. But what he is telling is, we live in a world where everyone has anything access to anything that you want. And actually the team came to Trivandrum Technopark after that, and we had a discussion. And
how are you a part of Singularity University?
I'm a global ambassador for Singularity. So
Wow.
the global ambassador's responsibility is to build skill set and mindset. Singularity University is to build skill set as well as mindset to work on exponential economy. It is no more about going and learning a lot of things. If you are not doing it in your work or using it to solve a problem, it is of no use.
No use.
So right now, people go and do a lot of skilling just because they see that they are going to learn that stack and get a job, right? But it is no more about that. You have to learn how to apply it and solve a real problem. And the future degree is going to be the portfolio of problems that you have solved, not the certificate that you have gained. And that is what he was also talking about. He was telling that most of the things that he learned in his life that helped him reach there was not something that was taught in school. That is something that he got going and exploring the outside world, connecting and collaborating with the people, and gain that and have avenues to apply it to solve real world problems.
Issues. How has Technopark so far fueled your endeavors to the future that you are looking at?
Okay. So one thing about Technopark, because I have been into different ecosystem. Recently I was in Telangana where they build a lot of infrastructure and all those things, and in Bangalore and other places. And all those places, the one thing that I was mentioning is, you build physical infrastructure, you build digital infrastructure, but the human infrastructure that we have in Kerala is something that helps us nurture much faster and innovate faster. And here Kerala Technopark is a cohesive group. Larger companies, medium companies, smaller companies, everyone work together at a single place or in a smaller geography. Everyone is there. Everyone is very closely connected. People know each other. People are willing to support each other, and very warm ecosystem that anybody who comes here new, they will slowly get merged with that human infrastructure. Second one is access to airport, the quality of life. All those things are completely different when we are operating in Kerala. So many of the things that I have achieved or I was able to do it happened only because I am in Technopark.
Let me take this opportunity to thank Deepu for synthesizing the efforts to free knowledge sharing. And this has been a wonderful session, and to me also, to the people who are listening as well. Thank you so much for being a part of today. Thank you.